Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I don't know if we call this round three or round two. It was the round three schedule, but we're our second matchup tonight. I'm once again here with Bryan Manolakos, and we are going to be seeing the matchup between Brian Kowal against Michael Flores. And I have the decks that the players brought. So BK has This Girl, The Rock, and Counter Parfait, while Michael Flores has Stasis, Parallax Replenish, and Rift Slide. And so Michael Flores has banned BK's Counter Parfait deck. And then BK has banned the Parallax Replenish. So let's jump over to see the decks. I actually had this wrong originally. So good thing that I talked to BK before we started. BK is bringing his rock list, which man, I'm sure you love because we get to see the Mesmeric Fiends with the Pernicious Steed. So, but I mean, this is a matchup where it seems like it actually would cost him. I think a lot of matchups, the games would be condensed that it wouldn't be as bad. But here it might. Oh, sorry, I had Mano muted, but he was.
Oh,
he was,
well, I have to re-say that rant
all right.
because what I was doing is comparing BK's list or the decision to play Fiends to Rich Shay playing Factor Fiction on 4 mana into a 4 days list. Like, you probably shouldn't do it, but he's a lot better at Magic than me, and he probably knows what he's doing, right? Similarly, BK is better at Magic than me and understands the nombo of Deed versus Deed plus Fiend, yet he chose to do it anyway. So I'm obviously missing something, but the level 1 angle here is too hard for me to overcome, and I'm sticking to my guns that this can't possibly be right.
Yep. So yeah, the biggest thing that stands out, I guess, are those Mesmeric Fiends, but then also, as Chad has just pointed out, there are some copies of Thawing Glaciers in the rock
Yeah.
that BK is. And I mean, I don't know if BK was talking to Mike, if he's influenced by Mike, but they are very high on Thawing Glaciers. I'm not completely sold. I would like to see. I mean, in this matchup, I think it's gonna be slow enough that it'll be fine. But we'll see. I think throughout this tournament, if Thawing Glaciers holds up to the hype.
I think they might be Flores might be a little too aggressive with Thawing Glaciers. At the Bearded Dragon this weekend, he told me the two best cards in Premodern were Thawing Glaciers and
Wait, are
Abeyance.
they playing? Why do
No,
they? Are they just like practicing? What are they doing? Did you tell? You didn't tell them to start,
I
did
didn't
you?
tell him to start. I said don't start. Oh no, shit! I said all good now because of the fucking sound.
Oh,
And all right, well anyway,
well,
and we're off.
all right. Well,
Cool.
okay. Well,
So
a
anyway,
little
Flores is playing
miscommunication. We'll jump down
his
to the
Rift Slide
match.
list.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a fiend on the table that's waiting to get deeded away. I can't wait. Okay. What a shit show.
Yeah, I was looking at the deck list. And also, I see them play, and I'm like, are they just doing this for fun? Are they just like
Right,
practicing?
just practicing hands. Yeah, okay.
Nope,
Okay. At
nope.
least they play quickly. So it
So,
looks like I don't know what that deed has taken.
or the Cabal Therapy.
I don't either, but it looks like it missed because Mike's graveyard has nothing in it. So
Well, wasn't it
it looks like he
flashback?
flashed it back. How do you miss twice?
Yeah, I don't know. And so Mesmeric Fiend on the stack. We're gonna take Enlightened Tutor. It looked like. Oh, Mike just might have. Oh, I was gonna say Mike might just have his graveyard off screen.
Yeah. Flores is set up. If you guys haven't gathered, he's not really. This is the first time ever playing webcam events, and his setup is ghetto to slightly ghetto.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really not great.
yeah. It's like half the size, or maybe a third of the size of what it normally is on Whereby,
Right.
and
It's
it's
on an
like,
88-degree angle, and there's a lot of glare.
yeah.
So like,
BK has said that he has physically turned his computer.
yeah, it's insane. He full screened Mike's board, and then he turned his computer on its side so that he can actually see the battlefield. Although you still can't see whatever that glary card is.
Yeah, I think it's an
So
Astral Slide. I think is what I saw it as. We're gonna pretend that's what it is.
all right, we'll find out when he casts it, I guess. Okay, this is going to be really tight, in-depth commentary, guys. Hopefully, that's what you come to PSS for, right? Is the in-depth commentary. Flint will provide that later. with a Hoyp with a correct camera angle. We're just gonna be guessing now.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be guessing. It's
All
fine.
right, Mesmeric Fiend getting the beatdown going. Who is the beatdown? I think
Oh
the answer
wow.
is the Rock. Ooh, Lightning Rift. Taking away Lightning Rift is like very key, I think.
Yeah, but
Just
he's just gonna get it swords and get it back, so that's not gonna be great for him.
it'll depend on, yeah, I guess on like what. It's unfortunate that Recurring Nightmare can be sacked as a sorcery. Otherwise, this would be some good interactions. But yeah, he's gonna take the Lightning Rift and make him use that sword.
Just to make him use it, right? Exactly.
I mean, once the Rift comes down, it is like annoying for what BK is trying to do. But Pernicious Deed will eventually take care of that. But
That's the trick, right? You play your fiends, you make them deal with your fiends, and then you play deed. Maybe that's it.
maybe
See, that could be what I was missing. Jesus Christ. Cast Rift. Wait, what did he already cycle? He already cycled something, yeah. Oh no. Yeah, he did.
it was swords and then played Rift. So
He just sword. Oh, that's what the 3 mana are. He
yeah,
swords,
yeah.
played Rift, go. He does not have a cycler yet. Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. It like these players are playing remotely. They are not like next to each other. But BK does have an Enlightened Tutor that he tucked under his Mesmeric Fiend to indicate what he actually exiled. So I didn't
That's
even
pretty
notice
sweet.
that. It looked so natural.
Yes. Thank you, Kowal, for doing that. Ugh, look at Mike's lands. Is this fucking real life? What is that? Is that a Korean FBB, a revised? Is that a new border battlefield forge?
Hmm.
This is
I
disgusting.
I remember him making a comment about the Battlefield Forges that he like didn't have them, tried to order it, or had some issue or something. I don't know, but
I found a random foil battlefield forge in my box of like buck foils, like bulk foils. That's apparently a quiet $120. Who knew?
which card?
Foil battlefield forge, the original one from like whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
from Apocalypse.
yeah. That was like just in my pile of shit.
Chat's wondering if BK has like an exact copy of Mike's decks just so he can tuck them under.
He probably does. He was testing late into the night, right? So I wouldn't doubt that he does.
All right. Well,
All
Lightning
right,
Rift
so
has taken care of Mesmeric Fiends and has chipped a little bit away on
yeah,
BK's life.
these fiends look like absolute shit here, right? Even though they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they still look like shit.
They got in for 2 points of damage.
Yep. Mons. They were Mons that got dealt with.
BK gives back the Enlightened Tutor.
Dude, did you see the timing on that?
Yeah.
BK handed it over exactly as Mike put it back in his hand. Are they in the same room? What the fuck is going on here?
That's probably the practicing that BK did. It was
Yeah, they
just like
practiced the timing.
yeah.
Yeah. Not the playing.
Yeah.
Exactly. The timing, I'm gonna go back and rewatch just that moment because that was unbelievable.
It's like the top 10 interesting things that happen in pre-modern. It'll be like on our Sports Center thing.
Yeah. All right, so he has a nice little board of enchantments sitting there. Like I guess that now the rift or the rift isn't that. I mean, he's gonna have to do it at some point. So
Yeah, I guess Mike might slow play the other enchantments. The thing is, like, BK might be able to play to the board, like, if he gets to like a 4-drop, because that's safe. Because I don't think, I mean, I guess Humility could come down and he would want to do it for 4. But just doing it for 2, he would be able to keep around his Recurring Nightmare.
right, that seems like a reasonable play, but we don't know what's in their hands. I could see him waiting. That's fine. It seems like Mike expects him to do that, so maybe that alone is enough of a reason to not do it.
The thing I do like about like this type of matchup is, so BK is like trying to apply the pressure and he's gonna kind of figure out what his best way to do it is, but Mike is like slow to kill BK for the most part. So like BK can kind of like wait and set up times and like try and play his discard spells or something, or like if Mike is slow playing the board.
Oh my god, hold on. Did you see he was about to play a deed into the wait, is he gonna do it? Oh, is he gonna do it and then in response? Oh no.
Well, he doesn't have 4
He doesn't
mana.
have enough mana. Yeah. Okay. So
No, he's just gonna flashback the Cabal.
he's just gonna do it right away. Okay, all right. So D whatever. Fiend is at least doing something, albeit not a whole lot. Okay.
Where does Mike have it? Does he just have his graveyard off camera?
Yeah. I don't think it actually matters,
Well,
but it would still be nice to.
did he just take it? He took another lightning rift.
Yes, he took the other rift, which is clearly BK really wanted that gone because he's at some point going to deed away the first rift, and the second one was annoying. I felt like he would have Cabal Therapied for a rift if he knew that it was in his hand, but
All right. Well, we got a threat now, though.
yeah, that's a threat.
Four body is big. I mean, like we know two of the cards in Mike's hand are not cyclers, so okay, humility will. So, do you?
Deed away everything.
Well, you might leave it in play so you can use recurring nightmare.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then use the deed. I think so that you can, because
You
otherwise
can
you
recur
lose.
your fiend back into play, and then you could deed it away. That's the play.
Well, the fiend would just be a one with no abilities, though. But
Right.
gets in there for 4. And we do. Oh, we see a slice and dice. So this will not allow.
Kills everything.
No, the Treetop Village. Treetop Village
No,
should be a
but
3/3.
But Rift.
Oh, Rift. Okay, he had that much mana. I thought he was just.
Jesus Christ. How many slice and dice does he play? That was unbelievable. Where is it? Flores. Rift slide. Oh, he plays 4. Okay. All right, well, that makes sense then.
I mean, BK did see his hand like not that long ago. But that was a very good
True,
slice and dice.
true. He probably had 1 or maybe 2 draw steps, and he just ripped slice and dice.
Yeah, because I think BK was going to attack, and then he was going to use the recurring nightmare. Well, maybe he just wasn't. Maybe he was just going to clock Mike for a little bit. But nice and dice.
Yeah, that was really a nice and dice. And now he really can't. I guess he doesn't really care about deeding at this point, but he would really love to not deed away his own recurring nightmare. So
Yeah, but this second Treetop Village is still pretty good. The problem is if you're not getting in the swings early, then eventually I think Mike will get to a nice way to answer just having like 2 cyclers. But okay, or have Swords of Postures.
all right, 2 down. That's good though. Like swords is a pretty. I assume that BK has a pile of fatties, right? That aren't actually maybe they're just dull derms. Does he play 4 Baloths? Let's see.
He has 3, I think. He's got like
I'm looking now. He has 3 Baloths, 1 Plague Lord. That's really all his fatties. So swords are good, but not like, they're not like as precious as they would be in a deck with like against like Spirit Mongers or more fatties. Speaking of fatties,
is a 1/1 a fatty? Is that
right?
4 mana 1/1?
He just,
I mean, I think the intention is just so that he has something to sacrifice. To get the recurring nightmare back in his hand. He'll put the fiend, Birds of Paradise. All right. So he can attack with the birds.
Yep, it's a 1/1. Thanks for the upgrade.
All right.
Oh, we killed a bird, not BK. You got to get rid of that clock, right? That's a 21 turn clock.
Only 18. Mike's at 18.
Oh, geez, 18 turns. That's like 3 time walks.
All right. Well, Mike's got like a million lands in play.
Yeah, he does. It does seem like he flooded a bit, and he's still in complete control. So that's how good the rock is.
When does BK? Okay, he's using it now.
Yeah. End of turn.
He'll respond by cycling Renewed Faith.
Nice. Gain 2, draw 1, take 2. It's actually a pretty potent magic card for 3 mana. How many decrees does Mike play? Let's see. 4. Okay. All right. Well, he has a million mana. He's going to draw another decree at some point, and that will be Game Boys.
Well, there are 2 copies of Engineered Plague in the main deck.
In the main?
BK's, yes.
Oh God!
So
another man after my own heart.
Engineered Plague naming soldier or human or whatever Decree of Justice makes. is
Yeah.
likely.
I find myself Googling creature types often in
That is
in
the
my
unfortunate thing that we're like cards just don't do like
yeah.
everything's a human now or whatever pretty much, but
Yep. Like I played a plague against humans against Flint's deck post
okay.
sideboard
Because
because
it
it stopped Hermit and Olrod.
okay.
Which neither of those cards I think says human on the card.
Yep.
But
All right. So after the deed or the recurring nightmare comes back down and a treetop village is added. So yeah, hidden mode is make angels, which I think in this spot would be pretty good. Deed still is a good answer to a lot of mana invested, either or of the soldiers or the
yeah,
angels.
he has
But
so much mana though. I think you're right. I think Angels is the play here. You're right. That is a hidden mode. Who knew that card could do that? Um,
we have Astral Slide coming down. So there's only 2 copies of the Astral Slide in Mike's list. It's not. I think it's just more of a defensive measure. It's not like he's trying to do anything really cute with it, right?
yeah, it's just a nice card in a cycling deck.
Yeah.
There's no like combo. He doesn't have like Cartographer or any weird shit.
Well, he doesn't have Exalted Angel, does he? No,
No.
not in the. He's got 2 in the board. So
Right. So there's not a lot. I saw a fun, was it slide? Yeah, it would cycle. It would play cycle lands with Astral Slide and phase out its Cryptographer, or no, its Cartographer, and get its cycle lands back. And it was getting Wastelands back. It was a really cool deck actually. I got destroyed by it in a monthly once.
that was actually like one of the first decks that I built. Like I remember there was something in like the Sideboard magazine. There was like a 3-colored slide deck, and it had Cartographer and Corrosion Tusker and whatnot. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's what I taught my dad how to play Magic with. Like,
It seems like a little complicated.
it was, and then he's like, "I think you're making up stuff," and I'm like, "No, honestly, this is you can slide things out at the end of turn, and they don't come back until the end of my turn." And like, he's like, "You're just making stuff up."
Oh, these slice and dices.
So those are the squirrel tokens from Deranged Hermit.
Alan Comer Squirrel Token in play. That's a nice one. That is or it was in play.
Yeah.
I assume he phase out that Beloth, I assume, probably. Yeah. Okay, he did. That's a nice answer, right? Draw a card, kill most of your board, fog the fucking 4/4.
Though I mean, like if Mike doesn't do any, like, well, it looks like he's making tokens, but I was to say like Recurring Nightmare is still doing something. Like you're just gonna be able to loop that if
Yeah,
you
well,
want.
especially with Hermit, right? I mean, now that he has Hermit recur, that's a real thing.
Do you like these tokens?
What are they?
They are the Star City Games Mike Flores tokens.
Oh God, I don't know if I do.
You're saying that if you had tokens of yourself, you wouldn't use them?
You can't use them. I don't think.
Well,
I don't think it's kosher.
I used to use like my high school graduation photos, and then
Wait, what are you talking about?
like for tokens, I would like buy like senior pictures. Like
the little ones, you get like some wallet size.
Yeah, they were wallet size ones. I would use those.
Oh, that's not okay. That's not okay.
Well, I had kids, and so now I use pictures of my kids. So
That's actually pretty cool. I just, I'm always using monograms in my household.
all right, well, a chunk of Mike Flores tokens deals 7
Is
damage.
that it? Did he just play an Exalted Angel? Yeah, so Flores like did flood a bit.
Oh no, that's
right?
Eternal Dragon, right?
Yeah, he played an Eternal Dragon, and he kind of like he has a million mana in play, right? Like he kind of flooded, and they're all basics, Like he happened to draw a pile of basics. I don't even know how many he has, but he has 3 mountains and 3 plains in play. I'm sure he's going to complain about that after the fact. Let's see how many basics he actually plays. He plays a million. Sorry, he plays 13 basics. So this is probably only a little over par for the course. But he did draw a lot of lands at, just period. And he still seems to be in control-ish. So
all right, we got to naturalize.
On slide, it's the only target. Might as well, I guess. It's not doing a whole lot.
The Engineered Plague. Oh, it's a Bone Shredder. Ooh, that'll get rid of the dragon.
Dude, this is a great match. Look at this match. Black-green. I'll play my black-green deck versus your red-white deck. Let's see what happens. Just mid-range, old school, playing Magic the Gathering spells. Playing Haymakers and seeing what happens.
The problem is we don't have... Oh, okay, I would say we don't have Engineered Plague, but, I mean, with Recurring Nightmare, we've got a bunch of blockers thanks to Deranged Hermit, so that was a very nice sequence. Is BK winning right now?
I mean, every turn it changes, right? So I don't know how many cards are in Mike's hand. It's hard to say. They're presumably not that good. So I actually think BK might be winning on the back because he drew that hermit to start doing his
Well, I think he has
recurring
3
nightmares.
hermits. I think he's very heavy on them.
Okay, all right.
But this recurring nightmare is just like the biggest engine. Like it.
I will say this Exalted Dragon is kind of a nice little thing. So he's just
Though
going to
I mean,
replay
like, yeah, Mike's gonna spend a bunch of mana and put a 5/5 into play, and BK is just
his
going
Bone Shredder.
to Bone Shredder.
He can just keep playing it, right? Like bring in Hermit, sack Hermit for Bone Shredder, or whichever way he wants to do it. I don't know how much mana he has. He has 7. Yeah, yeah. He's oh god, Plague on Soldiers.
BK has 2 recurring nightmares, and he has 3 deranged hermit.
Yeah, I knew he had the 2 nightmares. This is very good.
There's a slice and
Oh, he
dice. Okay.
sliced. He sliced in response to the nightmare. Another nice play. These slice and dices have been awesome. That's only going to really buy him a turn, but they cycle. They keep like their abeyances, right? Build your own abeyance, cycle time walks, right? That's what he keeps doing here.
Yeah, like with BK has all the tools just to grind
Yeah, because
Mike
Flores
out.
can't kill recurring that. Like most people can. You have to count it, right? So he's going to lose to that card. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's. I think Aura of Silence might be. Does he have that in the
It
sideboard?
doesn't even matter though, right?
Well, I mean, it makes it cost 2 more.
Yeah, I mean it helps, but
Now he has Seal Cleansings. So
another Giant Decree. He's making 4/4s this time, so I don't even know how much that costs, but he's going to make. All right. Oh, he's turning him upside down for 4/4s. Make 4/4s. Make 5 4/4s. He's at 20. That's a real clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the Bone Shredder, he's going to pay upkeep. I mean, Echo.
does that mean there's a deed? Or is it just for blocking?
I don't
I mean,
know.
you need.
Well, he
I
needs a
guess you.
creature in play to start
Oh,
recurring.
there is a
Okay.
deed. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you need a creature in play for recurring nightmare, anyways.
Take 1.
That was a good
Oh,
pernicious
he was
deed.
at 19. So that was actually an insane clock.
Yeah, BK's at 8. I had him at 7. Did he gain a life? Maybe I missed it.
No, I think he is at 7.
He has him at
No.
himself at 8. So
That's fine. Whatever. They probably know.
chat wants to know: did we determine the good guy? I am almost always going to call the Rock the good guy, but I don't know. I could feel like the Rift Slide deck is honest enough and unique enough that it might be the good guy in this matchup.
It's really close. I think that if Flores weren't playing his own tokens and played some proper lands, we might be able to call him the good guy. But sadly, he dug his own grave here, and he's the clear bad guy in this matchup. It sucks that the Rock is the good guy, but this is a cool Rock deck outside of the Mesmeric Fiend Deed Nambo. He does play these Recurs and these Hermits and these main deck Engineer Plagues. So
Rich says whoever has nicer basics is the good guy. Who has the nicer basics?
another good question. What is BK even doing?
I like the portal ones. I guess the white bordered one is just sticking out to me. So
I can appreciate not really giving a fuck about your lands. I think it's always funny how cool it is to care about your lands in constructed and how not cool it is to care about your lands in limited. Like if you bring your own lands in limited, you are dead. That's worse than playing your own tokens. No, dude, what are you even doing? You're clearly not a limited, you obviously don't play much limited, but that's even more taboo than playing your own tokens. You can't bring your own lands.
I just have a little deck box with my sleeves and my unhinged lands that I use for limited.
Oh my god.
I can't I like the look of those lands. Like if I'm gonna play, you just like random draft box lands.
Yeah, whatever they have. Literally whatever they have. Like
Nope.
if Flores land base would be great for a draft. That's what I'm trying to say. Either one. So would Kowal's. Beautiful draft land bases. Meanwhile, Kowal just going off.
Yes.
Like this is Yeah, like the power of recurring night because you just can't if you can't actually counter or find a way to get rid of recur and the games go long, you can't win, right? I
So
mean,
like when people were talking about like thawing glaciers, it's like, oh, if the games goes long, it's like, well, recurring nightmare just does that same thing and like is just,
times 10.
yeah, it's better at killing them, it's better at stabilizing a board, it's better for value. Like I just like recurring nightmare as a mana sink than thawing glaciers. So
You can play both though. I'm fine with playing a couple thaws in this rock deck. I like it a lot. Um,
I mean I
that
would
said,
just play like
recur.
Yavimaya Elder. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that, I just don't know enough about rock. You know more about rock than me, but 2/1s for 3. I guess he's playing 1/1s for 3, so whatever. But this is pretty much over, right? Like Mike's out of slice and dices. He has one slice and one what's it called? One decree left. He's
Yeah,
the
I
slice won't
guess
even do it.
Decree of Justice would probably be like make a bunch of angels and hope there's and then just like swing over.
Yeah, because like he can only bone shredder 2 or 3 of them, and he can make 5 angels. So that could be an answer.
And he'd be able to gain 4 from the Ravenous Baloth as well.
Yeah, so he'd have
I,
2 turns to deal with them all. I still don't even think. I think he's actually drawing dead. What's in his deck?
BK just pointing a recurring nightmare. I'm going to do this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna just pay 6 and just do this.
Chat says this is messy AF. You should have seen last week. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
even better. It literally looked like BK was just like sorting through his cards on his playmat.
This is right, right. Just doing a deck score. This is fine though. This is how it should be. Just here's all my shit. Fuck you. Here it is. I can appreciate what BK is doing here.
I think
No,
he's.
don't. Come on, don't eat it up. Come on. He has 9 mana now, so he's just triple recur. He's just pointing recur, 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 recur. Meanwhile, Flores is paying 10 mana for a 5/5 every turn that gets bone shredded.
So can we talk a little bit about like Mike's opinion of the Rock in Premodern? So
Yeah, I know you're a rock aficionado, and he's whatever the opposite of that is. You know about a lot about the rock. You've put in a lot of work in it. You've played it a bunch over the years. Where are you on it? Is it full tier 1?
I mean, like it's a little bit below because it's just not as powerful. You don't get any free game wins as
Yeah,
some of the other decks, but I don't know. It's pretty good at stopping people from what they want to do. I don't know. A bunch of discard spells and pernicious deed are pretty good, but
yeah, that's it. The discard plus deed is the other 25 cards kind of are what they are.
yeah, the I don't know. Creatures are embarrassing in this format, but you get it done. I don't know. But it's pretty exciting what PK's doing with recurring nightmare. So definitely a
Yeah,
powerful engine.
and it's so good in this matchup. I wonder if this was like some kind of a trump. They know better than us, obviously, all the ins and outs of what their ban and play decisions were. But I have a feeling that Mike was kind of trying to avoid this recurring nightmare endgame, and he landed there. I
Mhm.
don't know how much that factored in, but I know Mike is one that's going to look at how games end, right?
Yep.
And this is exactly how you could see this matchup ending. And I feel like he probably wanted to avoid this exact scenario. All right, so BK at least sorted his colored mana. Okay.
BK's
All
life
right,
total is
and
going up,
here we
and
go.
Mike's is going down. Mike is in great shape here, actually. I disagree.
Is that what the chat's saying?
Yeah.
What are we missing?
Uh,
Let's look at his deck. Let me look at his deck.
I don't like BK just is going to build a board presence like over and over, and even if it gets like wiped away, he's got a treetop village that can just start the loop again.
So Mike has now with this rift in play, he has 6 damage in his hand.
They're saying someone's saying it's not a bad position with the rift. I don't know. Like
The rift helps, but the rift just came out. I still don't think it's enough. I mean,
he has to chain cycles, and like BK can just like
he can gain a million life next turn.
undo that with
Yeah.
I don't know.
He can just gain literal 12 life. Or no, I guess just 8 life, but whatever. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, I like BK spot a lot here.
Does Spark Spray deal 1 to a person? I guess it doesn't really
It's
matter.
any target.
Yeah, but you'd probably kill it.
You
Probably just
cycle
kill a
it,
dude
yeah.
there. No, but I'm like Cole's at an even life total, so you probably just kill a dude with it and then cycle it and dome him for the 2. Not that that's probably going to matter, but this is going to slow BK down. He's going to have to spend a bunch of his clock building gaining life.
Does I mean like is BK's life total actually in danger?
He has to gain some life, right? Because like he's going to put him down to 2
I
more.
think
He's
he's
going with
gaining 8
6.
life here, I think is what he's saying.
He's going to gain 8 for sure. Yeah, but and now he's not. So I didn't. So Mike said go, and BK gained 8, and that is.
And he got to attack for 5.
Did he get to do anything cool on the way, or he literally just gained 8? Yeah, nothing special.
I don't know. I mean, like in that spot, that seems like all he really needs to do.
All right, he has a tutor. What's he actually going to get? Is he going to get enlighten or another
Humility
humility,
or lightning
another
rift.
rift? Okay, okay.
The problem is like if are you able to race this thing? Cause okay, so like BK just attacks. Assuming as a cycler, you slide out. Do you slide out the Ravenous Baloth? You probably have to, but then BK just sacks it to gain 4, and it's negating all the work you're doing with the lightning rift.
It
I guess
doesn't do.
I guess you just try and mitigate all the creatures, but like it's very easy for BK just to go hermit, 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 like with the recurring nightmare.
Right. The
Even if
problem
he
is,
has to spend like a treetop village to get that loop going, he could do it twice.
so we know Mike's hand now is rift planes, right? So he's going to have 2 rifts in play. He's going to have at most 1 cycler in his hand. I mean, he's not drawing dead, but he's still not in a great spot. So he cycled the Baloth and cycled the Baloth, whatever. I always call him Baloth. I love you, Baloth. It's from Borat, so we call it his broken draft. The line I forgot what it is, but I love you. I love you, Baloth. There's a thing we say in Sped World a lot.
All right.
That's why I keep doing that.
Someone in chat did mention it. They mentioned your Baloth and Shivan.
That one I know is wrong, but I do it on purpose.
Okay.
I'm not going to defend a lot of my other pronunciations, but that one I will. So I guess he has infinity mana. Maybe we've been overlooking how much mana that Mike has, and that second rift is kind of a big deal. So he has an unknown. He has a. I mean, cycle does 4. Draw another card does 4. Maybe Lanny was right. Maybe
Yeah.
we just had. I guess really having the enlightened tutor for that second rift is really what does it. That just doubles the clock. It's still a battle, but. And Deed here off the top ends it in 1 second, obviously.
How good is Dust Bowl here? I don't think that is really a player. No.
Mike has infinity mana. He's just counting. It's just a mana source. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's 1 short of another recur. But he's losing this race now, I think.
Yeah, Lanny, I think he does have a 4th Slice and Dice in his deck, so I think there still is one more. Spark Spray is going to get cycled. 2 Rift activations. They are going. I mean, there are a lot of decisions. Like, do you get rid of the tokens? Do you put them both in the Baloth?
I think you could actually get rid of everything here so that recur is dead, right? You can phase out Baloth.
Yep.
Baloth.
Well, there is a treetop village that you could use.
Yeah, but like then he's really drawing slim. Like he can still keep the ball rolling there.
Well, if his life is not under pressure, you could activate treetop, and I don't know if you get still could have 2 more recurring nightmares. I would say like with Deranged Hermit, you can really make a bunch of creatures.
Yeah. So he activates Treetop, sacks that, gets Range Hermit, doesn't. I don't know the exact mana. How much would that cost? That would cost 2. That would still only be 2 more recur triggers. So
BK's down to 6. I mean, his life total. I didn't think it was gonna get pressured when he had the ability to just like gain 8.
well, that the second rift is what did it, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's just it. Literally doubles everything.
It's 6 to 6. There is a natural hermit.
Play a Hermit, sack Beloth, gain 4, recur Beloth into play, gain 8. I guess is probably your play. What's he bringing in? Bring in Deed. He should recur Deed into play. Oh, he has another Beloth. Yeah, sure. Okay.
So, what does Mike need from here?
It's 6/6. It's synthetically. Oh, so we just gained 4. He sacked his Beloth token, whatever. So we synthetically at 18. This is a really cool game. That second rift really made it interesting.
Yeah, it definitely was way closer than I gave it credit for.
It wasn't until he drew the second rift, but that changed everything. Maybe we knew he had Enlightened Tutor at that point, and we just couldn't see it because his board is 2 inches long and his cards are off to the side. But
So we talked about answering Recurring Nightmare. Is there ever an instance where I'm trying to think if like a Seal of Cleansing's in play and there's like a trigger on the stack? Can you?
yeah, if BK does cast Recurring Nightmare and does anything else, yes, he can respond, but he would never do that, you know?
Yeah, and there's I'm just was trying to think if there's like a way that like with cycling or something that Mike can like get a trigger, but I don't think
There's no
there's.
way. He can't kill Recurring Nightmare. Unless he kills all of the creatures in response, then he could
Yep.
disenchant it or something.
Yeah, because
But that's the
if BK ever gets priority, he could just stack a creature.
and he would always have priority. So um Fireball would be good here.
Can we agree that the undisputed MVP of this match was Mesmeric Fiend?
Yeah, yeah. What a piece of shit.
It did let him know Mike's hand. That was probably the most relevant thing it did.
Right. Peak. I'll decline to draw. Your turn. All right, so pile of mana and recur, and Mike didn't do a whole lot. So we know he has the cycler, obviously, but is he waiting for upkeep? He's doing something on upkeep. I'm honestly rooting for BK to just draw a deed so we could end this and save some time. Just do it. Just do it. Nope. He would have slammed it. So
All right, attack with 1 Baloth and 2 tokens. Mike is going to show the
oh,
4th Slice and
oh.
Dice, and then 2
Well, everything.
activations. Baloth will gain 4.
But now he has the treetop. I wonder what other creatures he has to keep
Oh,
this from
I think this BK didn't adjust his life total. So does that mean the Astral Slide was targeting the Ravenous Baloth, and then the Lightning Rift was targeting him? So his net life change was 0.
Okay. All right. So we drew a creature at least to keep his engine going.
Flint has entered the chat. He said, "Oh dear God, what did I just stumble upon?"
Yeah.
The game one of a glorious matchup. That's what it is. All right, BK's rebuilding. this is the best reason to play mid range.
Yeah.
This is like mid range on, but like with
Like
an actual ending.
Rich is watching. He must hate this. This is like exactly the kind of thing he doesn't like to do, but this is so fun, man. This is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, a lot of people. I guess one of the criticism kind of thing is like if you don't have a card like Recurring Nightmare and you get to the point where you say, okay, now I'm just drawing off the top, and yeah, you're
You're
able to use
dead.
your mana every now and then, but like this is actually doing something powerful. So like I don't know, like this is like without this Recurring Nightmare, this game is completely different.
Completely. It's over. I mean, it's not even close. I
Yeah.
mean, how many he's gained 30 life and made 51 ones and killed a bunch of four, whatever. He's done a million things with this 3 mana card. All right, but now Slice and Dice is gone.
All four of them.
So, right, we know that's not an out anymore.
Chat was talking about Mike decking himself,
I was
and
just thinking that
I
too. I
didn't
don't.
think that was a possibility, and now like uh, I wonder if that actually is something that can happen. I guess this deck still looks like it's got some height to it.
If you have no planes in your deck, you still plane cycle, right? And trigger
Yep,
cycling and
I
fail
think
to
so.
find.
Yeah.
Okay.
This a cycled Renewed Faith or a hard cast one? BK goes up to 16, back down to 12. And does like Mike ever run out of cycling cards? I guess not with the
Because he
Eternal
has so much
Dragon.
mana
Yeah.
that
Okay. BK gets another turn. I mean, just attacking with because if you, I mean, I guess you have to assume like even if you put like a deranged tournament in play that it's not gonna stay there. So
right.
these are probably just attacking for one. Well, the Treetop Village is getting in there.
Yeah.
I guess cycle Eternal Dragon.
That Beloth is like, oh, it's I like you. It's I like you, Brat. That's what the guy says in Borat. So we always say, I like you. I like you, Beloth. Um, that's why I was like, I couldn't think of it before, but it's I like you, not I love you.
uh,
But anyway, it's somehow like this advantage. This is like the greatest advantage bar I've ever seen in a match. Right? It's back and forth all the time. Every turn it changes.
yeah, I'm still
BK's
not
somehow
100% like I feel like I've been on BK's side for a while, but like he hasn't been able to close and now he's at 4 life.
no, he hit. Is he at 4? If he's at 4, he's not dead yet because
He's I feel like he's pretty close to dying. Okay, well,
gain 8.
a little less close to dying. Back up to
But see,
12.
now he needs 3 cyclers. We know he's going to have 1 in his upkeep. Although, yeah, I assume he'll have enough mana to do all of this.
Yeah, I mean 3 cycles doesn't sound that how many cards does he have in hand? One is an Eternal Dragon, so there's one there.
Yeah.
Th-
Oh, he has
That's
2
two.
Eternal Dragons. Have we been missing that?
No, I think that the second one just came and the other one had been there for a while, I think.
Okay.
Oh, this is well. Then he just needs one, right? And then
Well, he
does
needs a
he?
lot of mana to do all of this, right? Like Cycle Eternal Dragon
Well, yeah.
plus 2
I guess yeah,
triggers.
because it's cycling. It does cost 2, so it's 4 for
Yeah, yeah.
each. So it's 8 mana, and then he would need to have. Um, he might
But
not
he's
have
not
enough because he already paid 10 mana to
right.
return 2 dragons during his upkeep.
And he's not going to be dead next turn. So he has another turn. He can wait a turn, but then he's going to gain another whatever 12-ish life. This is such a weird game.
You could. Oh, that Treetop Village comes back, right? It was. It should be in play, right?
Should it? Why?
because it was attacking last turn as a
Yeah, it's
creature.
in
Okay.
play. It's in
Yeah.
play.
Okay. So if you could, I would say if you, I think you could make Mike, because right here this is not a lethal attack. It's just for 4.
Yeah.
If you use the deranged hermit, then then Mike has to act. But
He's gonna do it anyway, I think. So
oh, well, maybe not these. Maybe these lightning rifts are not going at.
right. Like I
Okay.
honestly can't figure this math, right? Because he can, depending on what Mike does with the damage, he can gain life with his Beloths or make dudes, or like there's like so much chess play to this. This is
A
this
lot
is
of permutations,
unbelievable.
yeah. So attack for look. BK has him at 2. It looked like he only got in for 3 though. I don't. Or is there another? I don't. Am I missing a source
Oh,
somewhere?
you might be.
Recurring
He
Nightmare
might
is going to get used.
be.
Baloths, so we got insurance for life gain. And he'll recur one more time. And the tokens are gone. So he's gaining 8
He's getting even
and,
more.
and
He's gonna
leaving
play
a
another
Baloth in
recur.
play. And
Yeah,
he's okay.
two Beloths in play, and he gained 8. So
Okay.
so
I think I don't.
dude, I honestly don't know.
Okay, that was an end of turn cycle.
But with only
The,
1 mana up, did he just naked
he's
cycle it and not get a
he
trigger?
end of turn to slide out the Baloth, which BK did allow.
Yeah.
I think the idea is Mike has enough mana to um return it anyways, so
Right, but wouldn't you just hit him for 1 with Rift? I guess it doesn't matter because he's at multiple. Yeah, it might matter down the line. I probably would have just rifted, right? What is
well it saves
phasing that out even
him.
do?
Hmm, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
It
I
gives
mean, he's
BK
probably
the
thinking that he's at
get
multiples of 4,
it might give BK the
but
opportunity to screw up to sack it because that might change Mike's ability to prevent him from um recurring nightmare because he could untap and then kill the other Baloth. I don't know. So if
yeah, either way,
you
it's a corner case. Just draw a deed, man. Just end this. End this, please. As exciting as this is, like,
there you
oh
go.
my god. Oh my god. Um, that'll do, donkey.
So you can deed for 2 and then activate the or deed for 3 and then activate the treetop village.
Yeah.
Cycle Forgotten Cave will rift twice, so you target a Baloth. Oh, maybe not. One got slided out.
Yeah. This doesn't matter. Now he's out of mana, and he's going to be at a lot of life, and 3 of his rifts are in his grave. The only thing even remotely keeping in this game was the second rift. And now that that's gone, 3 are in his graveyard. It's GG's, obviously.
Quick slide out your rifts.
Yeah.
And oh, we're just gonna do it the
The old-fashioned way.
old. Is Mike tapped out? Did
I don't
BK
know.
not have the?
He could have probably wait.
Did BK not? Can you not just kill him with? Mike says,
Treetop.
"I'm gonna cast." Is he just gonna cast these?
How much does that cost to cast? 6? Does he have
It's
11?
7. 7 mana to cast an
And he
Ashok
has
Dragon. 5 to
24.
upkeep it, and 7 to play it.
It doesn't matter because he just has all these bone shredders. Like it just doesn't matter. Still had all these bone shredders.
Just need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Mike was actually tapped out. Then I don't know. I didn't just
I don't
attack with
know
a
if
treetop.
BK, he might have sacked that treetop along the way to not die to those rifts. So he might not even have one in play.
No,
Again,
he
this doesn't,
definitely it definitely seemed like he used it at the end just to get this last chain going. But
right. It doesn't actually matter.
it also might just be he's on like a very one track mind of like this is how I'm winning the game kind of thing, and
Right.
just
This
to
is not, nothing matters anymore. Like
yeah.
he's dead. Oh, Bone Shredder you. Okay. Bone Shredder you again. Take two. Oh no, he has to let the Bone Shredder has to die, so he can't actually do it yet. Oh no, but he has enough mana to sack it, bring back any old guy, bring back another hermit. Actually keep the hermit in play. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Are there any
Oh, he
copies
has
of Bone
swords. He has swords
Shredder?
for the Bone Shredder. Okay, all
Oh,
right. We're not quite dead.
oh, did he
Mike.
swords his own Eternal Dragon? Oh, that's what he did. Gain
Yeah,
5. Is there a
yeah.
Bone Shredder in the Broken Draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just got rid of the Echo too. So
All right, all right.
very recently. So that card was basically unplayable, but now it's pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie.
So, what does Mike need to do?
Nothing. There's nothing he can do. I guess he could rip Decree now because that plague is gone.
Wait,
So
did the Bone Shredder get exiled? Were there multiple swords?
um yeah, maybe.
Mike definitely gained 5.
Yeah, yeah. But you're right. Where's the Bone Shredder?
You actually aren't like with a Bone Shredder. You're not. Oh, I guess yeah. Yeah. There's like because there's a trigger. You're not able to protect it from swords.
Yeah, yeah. Because Bone Shredder comes into play, he can respond to actually casting Recurring Nightmare by Swordsing Bone Shredder, but
Yeah.
it feels like the play, but again, it actually does not matter at all. This game is completely over. I guess Decree has a chance because Mike has infinity mana.
It would make a lot of angels because oh no,
Yeah,
the engineer plague is gone. So I
that's
guess
what I
he
mean. So
yeah.
so he has outs with the plague, but I still don't even think you can make one once here because of this hermit. You might have to make angels and just like
Yeah.
live for a turn. Land. Battlefield Forge off the top. Cool.
BK needs Laquatus' champion. All right,
All
BK
right,
will
so is he dead
untap.
now? How many guys does he have? One, two, three, four, five, six. So he's dead now. Pay the upkeep?
No, I think you just your mana is better.
He paid it.
Oh, isn't it just better to like let it die and then just like
Well, he actually might not be able to kill him if he does that, right? Unless he didn't have another creature.
you? Well, he's got 2 hermits, so he could like bring 2 hermits back, and
Oh,
this
he
then to
has
be all
six guys. He has
yeah
six guys. Yeah, yeah. He could have let it die. You're right. It doesn't matter though.
yeah. They're gonna play a match. All right,
Okay. Oh my god. Oh
after
my god.
like
Fucking
50 minutes.
I thought that was
Yep.
gonna be so quick. Oh
Hey,
my god.
I was to say 25 turns ago, I just thought like BK had this completely locked up, and that was way more of a game than I anticipated. So props to Mike for doing that. But let's check out Sideboard and see if things change for this second and potentially third game. All right. So for BK, he has Diabolic Edict, Engineered Plague, Naturalize. 3 Naturalize seem very good.
Yeah.
Even Withered Wretch is okay. Okay, let's talk about this Haunting Echoes.
Yeah. Let's Google that one.
So it's 3 black for a sorcery, and you exile uh the cards in the graveyard, and other than basic lands, then you go through their deck and exile all cards with the same name.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it just like lights
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
So BK's deck seems like it gets better. Like, just like think of that game like yeah, assuming he has his recurring nightmare, if he gets to that stage of the game, just getting rid of 1 lightning rift or even like getting rid of an astral slide is like just probably too much for Mike. So things seem very good.
Yes,
Uh,
that's clearly a good one.
what
What does
changes
Mike
for
have?
Mike? So there's thawing glaciers, pyroblast. I don't think those are going. I don't think Sela cleansing does enough. Like because Deed and Recurring Nightmare can get around it so easily. Chroma's Vengeance? No. Exalted Angel? Get aggressive? Is it like more humilities? I don't know. It doesn't seem like Mike's game plan changes dynamically.
Yeah,
Where
is there anything bad in his deck? Like that Rune Red is bad, I guess. Like
okay.
I'm looking more of obvious things to sideboard out. Um,
Yeah, Withered Wretch I think might come in just because um of that
just
way
because
that game played out. Like you don't bring in a bunch of them, but maybe just one or two. I don't know.
I don't know, but like it just dies to Rift, right? Like I don't love that.
Glaciers because there weren't enough lands in play last game.
Yeah, I think humility. Chroma's Vengeance kills everything, right? It doesn't seem great.
The problem is, I mean, like the way that game played out, like a Chroma's Vengeance wouldn't have been very good. I mean, it would have
I
been
agree.
actually bad
I
for
think he
Mike
might
because
want these. He might want these glaciers, honestly.
okay.
Like these games, glaciers and humility are kind of what I'm thinking. The seals just don't do very much. I could see maybe one as an enlightened tutor target.
I can see bringing in Dust Bowl against Treetop Village,
Try to outmana him.
and it like might slow down the recurring nightmares. Like you might not get as many activations if you're able to cut them off with some mana, but I don't know.
Yeah, slide doesn't do a lot here. These slides can go, I think. Slide sucks and Rune Red sucks. So that's like Thaws, maybe a Seal, maybe a Dust Bowl, and Humility. He has like 5-ish cards he sort of cares about. And he has probably 3 that he doesn't love. Renewed Faith, whatevs. I don't know what the magic number of cyclers is, though. So at some point you can't keep cutting cyclers. Enlightened Tutor is pretty good. Swords is pretty good. Slice and Dice was very good.
Yeah, that was game one. So, all right, I'm gonna jump down the players. They will be starting whenever they're ready.
Yeah.
Now, I think everyone is cheering for BK now, just so this doesn't go to 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he's the only. Actually, Mike could win quick, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everyone's rooting for. I mean, that was fun for like the first 30 minutes, but minutes 30 through 47 were just like it was hard to tell what was even going on. Like, or not what was going on, but like who was going to win.
Yeah, I mean, like that game was way closer than I thought, and I don't know. That's what made it really cool because like I wasn't exactly sure. I thought BK was winning a lot of it, but like
He was. If Mike doesn't draw the second rift, he's dead.
yeah, but BK was still like very close to dying in a lot of those spots.
This is a great start for Mike. He plays a rift before he can get duressed or therapied. Those mesmeric fiends are gone from BK's deck. All right, draw go in the early turns. Dust Bowl out. That came in, right? That Dust Bowl came in, or was that a game?
There was one. I think there might be a second one in the sideboard.
Yeah. Cycle take 2. All right, this is a fine enough start for Mike. BK doing literal nothing.
Do you think Mike will ever slide out Wall Blossoms and then deck BK?
Is Chad asking that, or are you asking that?
That's me.
I mean, I just think he'll never. That would actually be so sweet. That would be so sweet.
I guess like if you're cycling every time, like you're at parity of like how many cards that you've drawn, so it's pretty difficult, I think, for that to happen.
Is that 2 Dust Bowls?
Yes. Very dusty in here.
Yeah. Cycle Spark Spray. I like you, Beloth. Beloth is really freaking good here in this matchup. It's really shown its. I was double cycling to kill the Beloth. Cool. Okay.
It's like effectively gaining 8 life.
What deep? He really brought in a second Dust Bowl.
I mean, maybe you just bring it in as like more mana. It's like better than like Mesmeric Fiend
Right,
or
right. That's what I mean, right? Anything's better than Mesmeric Fiend, so
because if your game plan is to just do this recurring nightmare thing, land is really good.
yeah, I think you're probably right.
All right,
Right, that
and
thought probably came in.
recurring nightmare gets rid of the wall blossoms, upgrades it to a ravenous Baloth, and so the clock is here. So this is a position where Mike, like Source of Polishers, is not super effective against this because
That's what I mean. Like Beloth is it's like it stops his clock. It can't be swords.
I mean, I
It
guess
always
Decree of
seems to
Justice
come
would
back.
buy Mike a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. Well, I guess chat's commenting about his camera. It's well, part of it is it's like I have it super zoomed in, so the resolution's probably worse. But yeah, I don't know what Mike's setup is, but yeah, I like how most of his playmat is just off the screen.
Yeah, yeah. This is like so ghetto. All right, Mike playing a bunch of lands. Again, how many lands does he play in his deck? Let's check at that because he always has a million mana in play. Is he getting flooded or does he play a trillion?
100 million.
He plays 8 plus 16 plus 9. Is that 25 lands? That's not like that many lands. I guess he's
He
cycling.
could bring in 3 more from the sideboard though. You could have
Yeah.
28.
Plus all the cycling, it probably plays more like, his 25 plays more like 35.
All right. Well, recurring nightmare will swap out the
Wall for wall.
yeah.
Then he can play it again, or does he have another black mana? He only has the one black mana.
He has a Lanor Waste and a swamp.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Play it again. Make a Beloth. GG's.
I love it.
Yep. The grind begins. Let's see what Flores can do here. Cycle Decree. Cycle Decree for 1 and hit it, and so we killed Beloth again. Okay.
This time, BK's life total is actually going up. Last game, it was just kind of at parity the whole time. Thanks to the double lightning rift. Here, the one Baloth is outpacing the one rift. So
Yeah, plus Kowal has these naturalizes in his deck now. Like this is just pretty good for him. He's under no pressure. He's at 30 life. He has a board full of gas or a handful of gas because he's been doing nothing but recurring. He could use a hermit to really turn his recur engine on because he's going to slowly run out of creatures. But
the one thing is, you have to assume like Mike has a card like Slice and Dice though. Oh, we got Exalted Angel.
that is a good card against the Rock.
Yeah,
They can't
against what?
block it. They can't deed it.
Yep, you can Bone Shredder it, but there's only one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, this Angel could change things for Mike. What answers does?
Nothing. Bone
I mean,
Shredder.
if eventually you might get to deed mana.
I mean, he could be deed now, right? He has 6, but like whatever. It's just not the cleanest answer. I guess he would love a deed right now, obviously. But oh my god.
There's a Bone
Still
Shredder.
had all these Bone Shredders.
Boom.
Flores right now is so mad. He's like, you fucker. One of. Oh yes, I'll recur. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What do you recur? You want to draw a card here or make a 4/4? I don't know. It depends on his hand.
I'd make a 4/4.
Seems better, but I honestly do not know. What just happened?
Was that the fifth counter for Wall of Roots?
No.
Did did something get cycled in response to the trigger? Oh no, it
Yeah.
got exiled. It got exiled. Did it get swords?
Oh,
Okay.
that's a cool play. You have to. Oh no, because the sacrifice is part of the cost. So,
No, but the
oh, in
triggers
response to the trigger of
trigger,
the
yeah, the
yeah,
bone shredder, you're able to
yeah, yeah,
swords.
yeah. Okay, this all makes sense. I know the rules of Magic. Yes. All right. Well, he's trying his best to keep up with this. Wait, is this thing gonna come?
So we haven't seen like hand disruption from BK. Do you think he takes it out in this matchup? And just like puts in more threats? Like is a card like Withered Wretch just better than like Duress and Cabal Therapy?
I don't know. All Withered Wretch does is kill Eternal Dragon. Maybe that's
Sure.
enough, though. Maybe that's
Yeah.
enough.
I mean, if you expect the games to go a million turns, then I think one or two copies of it are good. But yeah, I guess it has very diminishing returns and is pretty embarrassing against Lightning Rift.
Right. It still might be enough, though, because clearly those Eternal Dragons were what was keeping the game going earlier.
Chat
This must
saying
just
they
be.
were testing on Discord yesterday. It seemed slightly tilted towards the rock, provided they could keep. Oh, they're talking about stasis. Okay. I don't think BK is going to change the way he taps his lands. I think that's pretty set in how he does it.
Yeah, he's been doing it that way for 26 years or whatever. More. Probably 28 years.
What do I think of BK's rock build? So on paper, I wasn't sure about everything. I don't think I like the thawing glaciers. Uh, I think I would like to see if you'd be able to fit Yavimaya Elder in here. I think that like with that recurring nightmare plan, having that in the loop and just getting two basic lands every time is pretty nice. Uh, I'm trying to think what else
The
is different. I
Fiends.
don't. I guess the mesmeric fiends.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's interesting, and like I haven't. Fire Extreme Plague Lord is neat, and then like or Engineered Plague over like a card like Vendetta, maybe interesting. I like a lot of things that BK is doing in here. I probably would try and fit some Yavimaya Elders, like two copies in. I think. Yeah, this matchup is very, very different if Mike can interact with the Recurring Nightmare in any meaningful way, but because he can't, then it's kind of just like BK's engine is more powerful than what Mike does once the game gets to a certain point.
And in addition, he has trumps. Indeed, he can get rid of Mike's engine in a heartbeat. And
Yeah, Mike kind of needs to like commit to the board to kind of like stabilize and set up and kill someone, and D can wash away a lot of that work.
Thaw. Look at this board of 5 revised planes and 2 new bordered battlefield forges. Like, this is the ugliest board I have ever seen. That's not hyperbole.
I kind of like revised cards, so
But why? I just no. There's no. You can't like revised cards, and you can't be playing revised lands. Like revised, I don't know the nostalgia I get, but like it's so washed out, right? Like it's
I just
just
like, especially compared to like fourth edition. I don't like fourth edition frames. Like they're so skinny. I like the big fat white ones from revised.
that's what she said. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is just over because it gets the long game favors Kowal in game one, and it gets so much better game two with these naturalizes.
Yeah.
So I think Flores knows this, and he must have been hoping he would scare. They probably played some weird mind game, right? Where maybe Flores was like, "There's no way he could play rock because if I play this other deck, he's gonna get destroyed. So then I know he's gonna be on that, so I'll play slide." But Kowal knew that, so then he was like, "Well, I'm gonna play rock and fuck him over because it crushes the slide matchup." I'll bet you there was some of that going on here.
Yeah. All right, Baleth is connecting, so that's kind of step one for BK killing Mike here.
The thing that's like interesting is that looking at these lists, you wouldn't. I mean, if you actually truly thought about it and whatever, you would realize that Recurring Nightmare is this trump card. But at first glance, it's not easy to see, right? These decks grind hard, they go long, they trade, they do all these things, and then Recurring Nightmare just does what it does. But you don't realize that until you see it happen once. I feel like, or maybe if you brew these decks and you've played tested the matchup, obviously. But like I don't know, at first glance to me, this did not seem like the trump it would be.
Mm-hmm.
This batch has zapped my energy. I was already tired, and now I'm like yawning every 4 minutes.
Yeah, then we're probably not good together because I yawn a lot. I try and disguise it as much as I can, but it was way worse at the older series because we would start a lot later. But yeah, I just will yawn on camera all the time. So.
Oh yeah. What did he just do? Did he just kill a land? What just happened?
Yeah. A Dustbolt activation, but
does he have? Oh, he killed the Thaw. That's what it was.
Okay. I didn't notice that. All right.
I know he played a Thaw before, but all right, there it is. Exalted Angel. Whatever happened to that Bone Shredder? It got exiled.
It got exiled with Swords of Plowshares, which is very relevant.
It is very relevant, yes.
So with that one Bone Shredder gone, the ways to answer Exalted Angel are to get Pernicious Deed.
Yep.
Phyrexian Plague Lord could assemble a team that could kill it. Or, I mean, in theory, it's possible. I think like BK like builds a board that can outrace.
Yeah. Deed. Just keeps drawing into Deed.
I mean, he's got a bunch of cards.
Does Mike have a way to kill a Deed as an instant? Like, can he play Deed and say go? Is that a safe play here? What is Mike
Seal of Cleansing from the sideboard would be something that could respond if you don't have all.
That's the only card. I could see him sideboarding in one seal.
Is this an engineered plague on Angel?
No. Can't be.
Wait. Why? Oh, it was post-combat after a Ravenous Baleth attacked.
Oh my god, dude. All right. Okay. I guess to be fair, these Exalted Angels are also 5/5 flyers, right? You know, like they are pretty good.
Oh, the Eternal Dragon, just like
the Eternal Dragon. This is they're just recurring Exalted Angels.
The problem is, if you're not gaining life, like BK still has Recurring Nightmare and can like once he gets a deranged tournament, I don't think we've seen that yet. Like then you can kind of outpace the Eternal Dragon. I think with the Exalted Angel, it's a little trickier.
It's trickier, but it's still like a decent card for Mike to have going here. Just playing a 5/5 flyer is kind of a thing. That'd be very cute if Mike made Angels later, made 3/3 Angels later.
Yeah. Wall of Blossoms for Wall of Blossoms.
Yup, J&B Tome. Yeah, he definitely wants to draw a Hermit here. That gets everything going.
Yeah, and as long as he's hitting his land drops, then I think the draw go doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this board state, right? 7 Revised Plains and 2 Battlefield Forges. Those are his
There's
only
some
cards in
mountains.
play,
There's some
right?
mountains down there.
Are those in play? Those mountains?
I think so.
Oh, all right. This is less exciting then. I was just
Ooh,
like,
we have haunting echoes. Oh
oh my
man, is
god,
this
oh my god, had it all.
is this just game over? Right? Like
He gets the one rift gets to stay in play. The swords are gone. That's really it. But he's gonna have his only rift is gonna be the one in play, and the swords are gone.
yeah, I
So
guess this
yes,
like doesn't hit like quite as many things.
it hits the rift though, right? That's what's
Yeah.
important.
And I mean and hitting swords is kind of relevant too, knowing that there's no more swords.
Both of those are pretty big. Although really, swords on Shredder is actually what his best use, and he already got that. But still,
Scoop so you don't have to reveal what you sided in.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Mike is exiling Forgotten Caves, Secluded Steps, Swords, Lightning Rifts, Thawing Glaciers. I think the Exalted Angels were already gone, but can't see the other ones. But
None of this matters. If Mike were a gentleman, he'd concede.
I mean, you're hoping that like the Eternal Dragon. Oh, the Eternal Dragon's gone too, right? Or did that go back to his hand? That's very different. Like if there's an Eternal Dragon in his hand and not in the graveyard,
Yeah,
then
fine, fine. I'll give you that. He's not drawing completely dead, if that's the case. I guess I assume it's in his. Oh no, he paid 5. He's 5 mana tapped, right? So it must be in his hand. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so like, all right, so let's talk about this. How does Kowal beat this long game of just playing a 5/5 flyer every turn, right? He has to outrace it. That's the
uh,
only way, which I guess he can do. But
Deranged Hermit would be step one, and then he
right,
can Recurring Nightmare with, and then
right. Once he gets to range Hermit, he can just do whatever he wants, I guess. So he can just play any number of whatevers.
so Mike with a very different library now. I mean, I guess the thing is, it's not like all the threats are gone. It's just a lot of the good answers. Well, definitely if this, yeah, it's he's really relying on this dragon.
Yeah, that's his only chance. You're right. Like the fact that that dragon was in his hand and not in the graveyard was humongous. It brought him from 0% to like whatever 8%.
All right, BK showing his Recurring Nightmare. He says, "I'm going to do this." He's deciding what he wants to get. He is going to get Baloth. The 4/4 doesn't line up particularly well against the 5/5,
Yeah, I'm
but
sure he has a reason for this.
oh, he has Diabolic Edict. Wow.
Trying to snipe an Exalted Angel.
I mean,
Oh my God, Withered Wretch! GG's.
the Diabolic Edict. I mean, in my mind,
Is
it'd be
that
like
real? Like,
I would never want to bring that in against like the Decree of Justice, but like I guess if you're keeping an Engineered Plague and thinking that this is how like the games are gonna go, or just like that the importance of an Exalted Angel is just that critical that maybe like Diabolic Edict is something that you want.
well, he had a lot of room to work with too, right? Because we knew he had 4 dead fiends in his deck, so he had a lot of stuff to play with.
A Withered Wretch gonna get rid of that Eternal Dragon.
Yep. It's not long for this world, presumably, but either way, just getting rid of the first. If you could trade wretches for dragons 1-for-1, that's plenty. Maybe you're right. Like your call was probably spot on, right? This game is going to go long. It's going to be recur against Eternal Dragon plus Cyclers, and Wretch just turning off one dragon is enough. And heaven forbid sniping both dragons. You know, like I don't really think that's possible, but That edict, though. I'm not sure what they're looking up here. Mike does not have a second angel this game, right? So it's just
They're
now.
both gone. They're both in the graveyard. They got exiled.
Wait, they both were?
Yeah, he had played the first one. The first one was bone shredded, and the second one was blocked, and then got shrunk by the engineered plague.
Oh, he's been returning them, but either way, just one. All right, so this is over. Like, does he play a third angel? Even if he does, he has one card that he could draw to raise his chances from 0 to 2. Like, now you got it. Now you have to do it, Mike. You got to do it. I know it sucks. You're going to be 0-2 in the PSS. I know. I've been there. I've been there. Jesus Christ.
A slow and painful death.
How many cards were in Mike's hand? Like, what?
I mean, BK should know the hand, right? Does Haunting Echoes look at their hand, or maybe it doesn't?
It does. Yeah. Because it got the swords before, and it got all the random other shit in his hand.
Okay.
Oh, no, the swords was in the graveyard. Maybe it doesn't look at your hand. Play deed. Okay.
Ephro says nobody should ever have to lose to the rock. I don't know. I disagree. I think everyone should have to lose to the rock.
This matchup is pretty unwinnable, though. I guess the thing is Kowal's recurs could be in the bottom half of his deck, right?
Yeah, if the recurring nightmares don't show up, then like the first game definitely is way different. Like then
he wins.
Flores can outpace what he's doing.
Okay, Vengeance, blow up the whole board, and he doesn't theoretically have. I mean, he can reload. Obviously, I'm sure he has creatures and he has those villages, but he doesn't have a hermit to really get the ball rolling. And is that the case, Dragon?
Yeah, I am. It seems that they've frozen. Are they frozen on your end?
No, I see them.
Oh, that must be me. So I'm going to refresh real quick.
Okay.
No, I'll have to
Don't worry, you're not missing anything. Apparently, Mike.
Well, it looks like this is not refreshing the way I want it to. Okay.
Recur it for a while, Blossoms.
Sure.
I will get things situated.
Yep.
All right. And just need to mute the players.
I can't hear
again.
Hoyt for some reason.
I just rejoined. You'll need to mute me again. Yeah, so anytime I bounce out of whereby and come back in, then my sound will be back on. So.
Yeah, I'm so drained. I don't have any. We should be talking about something, but what can we talk about? Like Flores is going to be 0-2. Kowal is going to be 2-0. It's probably not where we predicted it to be. Rich is 1-1. Rich avoided the 0-2.
Yeah, I have BK's screen frozen again too. It seems like everything's freezing up. I don't know. Maybe it's something on my end.
It's a sign. It's a sign from the gods. They should quit. It's probably Mike's setup is permeating your tech.
Well. So you have live video right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike's attacking for 5. He drew. Maybe he didn't strand. Maybe only one angel got eaten because he has one in play and he's attacking for 5. So.
Wait, there's an angel in play?
Yes, I think maybe before he didn't get the second angel. I know it's impossible to tell. He's cycling a. Wait. He has 3 angels in play right now.
Wait, I'm going to reload again.
He has 3 exalted angels in play. We must have messed up before, and he didn't get any angels without Haunting Echoes. Maybe they were all in his hand.
Yeah.
Or 2 were in his hand, he drew the third one. Because he has 3 angels in play.
I'm going to try refreshing again.
Yeah, and Cole.
Yeah. All right, now I can see the players again. They're no longer frozen. So sorry, players, you'll need to mute me again.
All right. Well, this
Okay.
everything is different if he has 3 angels in his deck and not 1, right? So like, it's just hard to tell. Mike's setup is an abomination. All right, D for
Oh,
D for
okay. So
7.
when you say angel, you meant Eternal Dragon.
Whatever. Yeah. You know, the flyer. I don't mean angels. Sorry, that would be pretty rampant cheating. I feel like because those got haunted.
I thought one got exiled with
I think we
the
messed
Withered
up.
Wretch. But
Yeah, I think maybe it was not in the graveyard. I mean, obviously it wasn't because it's in play right now. But or maybe does he actually play 4? He plays 3. So yeah, none were in the graveyard obviously because they're all
yeah, he
out
had
there.
just picked that one up. But yeah, but I thought one had died and got exiled with Withered Wretch. So BK, is this at a point where like, because if he blows up all these dragons, eventually they're gonna come back.
Right. He needs to like get something going in addition to
I
this.
guess I mean he does have recurring nightmare. Like he could use a treetop village and start his chain going.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has creatures in his hand.
Well,
He just took a turn off to
that Wall of Blossom should be dead, right? That deed was activated.
yes, it should be. And so now Mike has
It
decree.
has an end of turn decree.
No, a main looks like a main phase
Oh, is he
decree.
making angels?
Yeah,
Yep.
looks like it.
The face down is the angels. That Wall of
He's
Blossom should
gonna
be gone, right?
yeah. He's gonna win this game. I can't believe it. I guess I just have no idea how magic works. I'm also gonna chalk it up to being so tired, but like and also the fact that we thought all of his eternal dragons were gone.
There's the Withered Wretch. That's the answer to that.
Right.
But
So
like, there's
kill all the dragons, right? That's something. Does he have another deed? Because he's dead. That plague on angels, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
no, the plague got blown up.
No, he just played another one.
Oh, am I
Wait,
frozen again?
he might be. Because he just withered wretched away 3 angels and played a plague, and now he's doing something else.
I wonder why am I having so many issues.
It's because this match, okay, now he drew Hermit, and so now he can get up to all of his shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm gonna refresh again.
Okay.
Attack for 15.
All right, sorry players, I had to refresh again to get the video to update, so you'll have to mute me again.
It's just really hard
Flint,
because I
are
have to
you
keep turning my screen sideways.
are you you're watching this, right?
I can see it again now. I guess I should have told him that the wall.
Do you want to step in for me?
You're talking to who are you talking to?
Flint.
If he wants to, we can sub you out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's I actually had some stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I'm too wrecked to provide any relevant commentary on this matchup at this point.
That's
so
fine.
I think it's better for the listeners to get somebody who knows how to play Magic on camera.
Yeah, Flint will be jumping in, especially if we're going to another game.
And he's gonna comment on the next match anyway. So
I don't think I've had very many issues with Whereby, like having them freeze up. Like, I mean, I've done all these streams, and this is like the first time I feel like it. So I don't know what on my end, because again, now I have frozen video.
yuck. Yeah, I don't know.
What is the game state? Are they still?
Oh, I stopped watching. He played the angel. He attacked for what is that? 3 times 5, 15 with his 5 angels that have been in plagued. So now they're 3/3s. So he attacked for 15, brought Kowal from 18 down to 3, and now Kowal has a turn of recurring nightmare shenanigans to, gain a bunch of life and do the same shit we did last round. until he can draw another deed or something.
All right, I'm gonna refresh again. I don't think there's any way to me individually do it. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just gonna refresh again.
Early
Very
was
nice.
just unbelievable.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Trade a
Yeah, he has to start gaining life now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He only has 4 recurs. But he can't quite break even.
I'm gonna trade a token for a
I
bailout.
mean, he can,
Like
obviously,
a
this
bailout.
turn, but in the long run, he can't.
So you go up to 7.
Yep. Trade a token for a bailout.
So he's just
Hold on,
going to
I
gain a
was-
bunch
hold
of
on.
life.
Okay.
Until Flint, if you want to step in
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
whenever you're ready, just jump in the room. I know it's going to mess up the stream settings for a minute, but I will gladly hand this off to you.
Yeah, I had to refresh again, but Flint might be jumping in, so
Okay.
yeah, it's like I feel like the video freezes almost instantly again.
Right, recur.
Okay. Trade Withered Wretch for Drain Instrument.
Okay.
Okay, so I had to boot Mano because otherwise my screen settings did not work.
Shit.
You have to recast the recurring nightmare then.
Yeah, 1
Did
second.
you just use it? Okay.
I'm thinking.
Yep.
I'm gonna get Wild Blossoms.
Sure.
Draw a card. Recurring Nightmare for
Okay.
Wild Blossoms.
Okay.
Hey, wait, can you hear me? Awesome.
Wild Blossoms.
Okay.
BK and Flores may need to mute me, but we'll see. They haven't
Yeah,
already.
Mike.
Woo!
Okay.
Nice game.
So all right,
It was a freaking game.
all right. I am going to.
Ugh.
All right.
That was a game, Kowal,
All right.
Brian.
Okay, so the players might be able to hear me. So if I've been having a bunch of issues in terms of me having to refresh. So what I might do is either have Flint do more commentary and like me less of it. I feel like I just need to close out the whereby and like restart it or something. Or otherwise, what I can do is, because if I'm muted and you're talking, like, but then you're not interacting with me at all. Yeah, well, the problem is, Rich, I was to say, wouldn't be bad to have you in, but like, we can try it and then have my screen off. Why don't you join the room, Rich, and we can try and have you do commentary. I might have to refresh a bunch of times, but if I'm at least muted, then I need to refresh.
Can't believe we got all 3 dragons. I think about 2. I don't have the deed. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about, like, it's obvious that you were going to engineered Plague on Angel. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked the Bailoff. I did. Maybe that was
All
just
right.
so bad. It was obvious.
can folks hear me then?
Telegraphing that play.
Yes.
So,
Excellent.
I mean, like,
So it looks like we're going to a game 3.
yeah, maybe that.
Yeah. The other style we could do is just have the players do a lot of commentary. I guess it just depends on how many times I have to refresh. Because at that one point, I was like, I would get a minute in, and I would have to. It would just get stuck.
Gabe, it's Ravenous Baloth, by the way. I don't know how he pronounces it. I may have missed the earlier
There's-
controversy.
Yeah, a lot of Baloths were said.
Oh, no. All right. We're on the same page, Gabe. Same page. I like it. So who do you have favored in game 3 here? Wait.
I think in general, I think BK has all the tools that outlast Flores. All right, I'm gonna. I think BK has all the tools that outlast Flores. All right, I'm gonna. I think BK has. All right. Now my everything is frozen again, though.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. Good to see you.
Good. Well, I happen to be free tonight, and it looks like there's some technical, interesting things happening, at least in terms of production. I'm not quite sure about this match, but you get the idea.
I am going to at least close out of like restart Chrome. I don't know. I'm not going to restart the stream, but we'll see if that helps. But I will be right back, guys.
All right. Hopefully the stream won't crash.
Sorry about that, everyone, with these issues. I haven't had many issues with whereby freezing like this, so.
Oh man, Bone Shredder would have been way better.
I
Probably
think
would
if
have won.
both
if
players
we had
brought
Bone Shredder
stasis,
number
this
two.
match
I
would have been
definitely
over
would have
with by
won. I would
now.
have drawn a second
Exactly.
Bone Shredder
But
instead of.
instead, one of them decided to bring a deck that answers everything. The other brought a deck that answers everything. And, you know, we're dealing with two decks that one of them deals 2 damage at a time starting on turn 34, and the other's big win condition is a 3/3 mana.
At least he has more win conditions. At least BK has more win conditions in his rock list than he does in his oath list or his
Yeah,
parfait
that's
list.
true. That's true. Although the efficiency of the ones in the oath list a lot higher, right?
Yeah, I guess it's not technically an oath deck, but his counter parfait or whatever he's calling it, right? He's got the one Saproline symbiosis or whatever. It's not symbiosis. What is
Totally
it
get
called?
it. Right. You take a parfait deck and you decide that you really don't want it to have a functioning mana base, and now you have counter parfait, which runs counter to everything you're trying to do with the parfait mana base.
Yeah, spontaneous generation. That was the card.
So I feel like maybe the 80s were more of a spontaneous generation. They had some really good pop music back then.
They did. I mean, this is a boomer format, so we can definitely talk about 80s music. This is the
Yeah,
appropriate time and
absolutely.
place for it.
Right. We were, this was just when Nirvana came on the scene. He made people get rid of their eyeshadow, and I miss 80s music. I missed 80s music in the 90s.
I feel like I didn't appreciate it enough when I was younger. And then once I got a little older, I was like, man, 80s pretty solid because I was a little kid.
It was good stuff, right?
So what do we got going on here, Rich? It looks like a recurring
all of it.
nightmare on an empty board.
All right, yeah, it looks like Recurring Nightmare is facing off. Now, it's always interesting because if you keep Recurring Nightmare in your hand, you can effectively prevent your opponent from ever getting priority while it's in play, so he will never be able to disenchant it.
Mhm.
But that also means that you're going to be using your mana less efficiently. So BK had to make the choice between using his Recurring Nightmare optimally and exposing it, and he chose to expose it there.
And if he had a creature in play, it might still be okay, since I think all of Flores' removal is Seal of Cleansing, and so he can always, kind of keep an eye on that, because Flores has to play that at sorcery speed, right? So as long as he doesn't pass the turn with a Recurring Nightmare, then he's
Right.
usually okay, right?
It was initially passing with it in play that was the difficulty.
Yep.
But now there's a Plague Lord in play, but it looks like BK was actually aiding Flores by playing the Recurring Nightmare, hoping that Flores would target that instead of the deed. So that's a clever play by Bryan.
I hear he's a clever player.
He is. So this deck, for those of you who don't know, was originally called the Rock and his Millions because the Plague Lord was the Rock and the Hermit and the 4 friends he brings to the battlefield are his millions. And so while it might not seem like much of a combo, you could play one and then the other and then clear the opponent's board.
Yeah, very classic deck.
Absolutely. Yeah, this deck, you might as well have the cards written in Latin. It's so classic.
We've got an interesting case of dueling thawing glaciers going on, which probably is not something that's been seen for quite a while in Magic the Gathering.
No, it's not. I tried thawing glaciers in Stasis, and I was quickly swapped those back out again. You know, I love Gaia's Blessing. I tried those in Stasis, but it just was not very good. You don't really have the spare mana so easily, sadly.
Yeah, I've never played Stasis myself, but I played against it a lot, and it does seem like every island really does count. And there are so many critical turns where you need to have 2 or 3 islands untapped so you can respond to protect your stasis, cast counter magic, bounce it at the right time. And so you're never really in a situation where you're just thawing away without a stasis in play, would
Right.
be my
It's
guess.
not a draw go deck. It's a
Exactly.
paper stasis draw go type deck.
Yep.
So Mike just tapped out, and it's a little hard to see Mike's camera there.
I just see the 3 or the 6 lands, right? The 3
I
plains
also
and 3
just see
mountains.
6 lands. He could have tapped out for an angel or a dragon. I'm not really sure.
Could just be tapping his lands because there's no such thing as mana burn.
He
Who
might have,
knows
he
what he's
might
up
as well
to?
tap them, right?
We've got quite the LobsterCon reunion here as well, right? All 4
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah, I've had just enough time to recover from that beating, so this is good.
Oh, right, right. Something tells me if you'd have known what I was up to, things may have gone a little differently.
That was an awesome match. You
Yeah, it was a lot
absolutely
of
earned
fun.
the win.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. All right, so it looks like Brian has a cantrip wall, and it's a little hard for me to see his lands. I think the camera quality, with the high budget we have, we should be sending everyone in this league a top-of-the-line camera to make sure that everyone can show his screen well.
Yep, with all that sponsorship money that we earn.
Right.
Indeed. Next time, folks, we apologize. Those responsible have been sacked.
Their high salaries were not put to good use.
Exactly. So we've got some more squirrels joining the fray here.
All right. Do we actually have the rock? Well, we don't have the rock and his millions assembled, but we could. We could recurring nightmare that back at any point, right?
Absolutely. And it looks like BK was using a die there, but has since switched to tokens, which is a little better for our viewers, I think. So that's nicer to see.
Yeah, it's easier to see what's tapped.
So he's coming in here, and both players are still at 20 life, it looks like, in this very, very long match. And I want your opinion on this, Rich. We've talked a little bit in our group message about what to do when games go long. And I think tonight we're a little more lenient since one of our matches had to be canceled. What do you think we should do? If we're hitting an hour and 15, how should we sort of decide the winner of a match? I mean, because a draw, we could do a draw, but we'd prefer not to. I don't know what your
I don't
thoughts
think
are.
draws are great. I think this is a friendly league. I think if someone's way ahead, I think we can expect his opponent to concede because people are going to be good sports. I think if neither player is willing to concede, then I think it's honestly fair to have a draw because I think that everyone's acting in very good faith. This is a league where, we're all getting along, we're all highlighting the format, and there's nothing on the line. So we're really just, I think, trying all to be good ambassadors of the format. And if we really can't come to a fair consensus, I think a draw might be the way to go.
No rock, paper, scissors, or rock, lobster, scissors,
No.
lizards, paper, tiger.
That is a fine option, but I mean, we could do chaos flip flips. That would be the alternative.
I need to work on those. I'm going to Urza's Chalice next weekend, and it's in the Santa Cruz, Bay Area mountains.
That's
out
exciting.
here.
Is that what format? EC or?
It's an old school weekend. It's an invitational thing that I got an invite to because I play with
Very
the Beasts
cool.
of the Bay out here, and they're trying to teach me how to play old school, and I'm doing a poor job of it, but I've got to work on
Old
my
school is a
flips.
blast.
Got to work on my
If you have
flips.
fun, you can't do badly because really it's a very fun format.
Yeah, it is really fun. I've got a sweet deck that I want to play. I'll tell you about it offline. All right. So anyway, back to pre-modern. Sorry,
So, all
I
right, now
digress.
it looks like Mike Flores has added a falling nature to his board, and Brian has added a 0-4 wall to his board. So we haven't missed much, have we?
Nope. Looks like a cycling a renewed faith there. Mike just trying to churn through his deck, find some action.
That's right. Gaining life points, losing deck points. This could come down to a decking, couldn't it?
The first match was really, or the first game was really close. Did you see that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He was down to the wire with cards. Someone, and Flores lost it, but you know, I don't think he had very many cards left in his library. We do have a plague here, and so staving off the decree cycling, obviously there.
Mhm. I think that shows you how good Decree is. Decree is a cantrip that Mike hasn't even invested in a card yet because he gets the card back and he hasn't even used it. And BK still has to expend 3 mana and a card and leave this card in his deck that is otherwise a brick. That's how much respect you have to have for Decree. And I think that really illustrates what a great card it is.
So my question for you is, can you count on one hand, two hands, or would you need more hands to count the number of matches that you've won or games that you've won by actually hard casting Decree and casting Angels?
I've actually hardcasted a good bit in exactly this scenario.
Yeah.
Because plan B for the decree is where you make a bunch of equals. And the times when you need to do that, it's rare, but you're really glad you have that option. So just for a case like this, it's still a way to win. So if Mike takes sufficient control of the game, he can just make 4/4 angels. And against some decks that have flyers, you might also need to assemble a pile of angels. So at least 2 hands, if not more, I've made 4/4 angels, and it's been really good. I mean, it ends the game very quickly. The
Yeah.
other use for it is if you're in turns. It's a very quick way to go from not having board presence to winning the next turn.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a fun way to sort of switch things up in a deck where most people expect the cycle.
It is. Now, my question for you is, do you keep angel tokens in your deck box?
I do. When I run Decree, I usually keep a number of Angel tokens in addition to my soldier
To
tokens,
become prepared, just in case.
just in case. It looks like a BK is at it again with the shenanigans. We see more squirrels.
He has some dice, some pro players from days gone by.
Is that the
Um,
Star Wars kid? Is that Chris
I
McDaniel?
actually can't see his screen well enough to answer that question.
Okay. I think it
Our
might be.
our viewers at home, can all of you see the screen very well?
We have confirmation from Hoyp. It is Chris McDaniel.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. So what is Flores got to do here? Do you think? I mean, BK obviously has a commanding presence with
Yeah.
Plague, and he's doing his thing again. But Flores was able to pull out game 2.
So cycling to a slice and dice will clear away all these tokens, right?
Yeah, it would.
So that seems like step one. I don't know. It feels like the Rift deck is designed to sort of sit there and kind of hope bad things don't happen, and maybe dealing 2 damage will win you the game. But it seems like he absolutely needs some sort of board wipe here. Whereas it feels like what BK has to do is be glad that Mike continues not to have Lightning Rift in play. And if Mike doesn't find a Lightning Rift or a sweeper, I don't know how he can continue functioning here.
So we have to assume those are 3 angels, right? That Flores has.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I couldn't even see
Right.
those.
All tapped out, 3 tokens, and there's a
All
plague
right,
in
so
place. So
those
they're
have
not
to be 3
soldiers.
angels.
So he's got
Yes.
angels. So BK here trying to determine.
Unfortunately, BK can make all of his 1/1s into 2/2s, and then if you crash it out with those, yeah. If he attacks with those 2/2s, that's a lot of damage, right?
Oh, yes. As many an Elves player knows, it's a fast way to close out the game is just to bring the squirrel team. So we do see the setup that you referred to earlier, Rich. We do see the rock and we do see the millions here. It's making it happen.
It can. I mean, that's what it was named for. So in theory, 4 tokens can take out 1 angel, so it'd be 12 tokens to take out all 3 angels.
I mean, if he can survive, so obviously if Flores goes to cycle, then BK can sack his tokens, right, and take out the angels. But otherwise, he can afford to just take a hit here, right? What's he at? He's at 20.
No.
Looks like
It's
he
a little
may
scary
take out at
because
least 1.
Mike's deck can throw damage around, so you might not want to go to 8 against it. Right? Because then Mike could drop Lightning Rift, and I can't see how many lands Mike has in play,
Hmm.
but he might be able to Lightning Rift you right out.
Yeah, he is going to take down one of the angels. It looks like. You have to imagine Mike has a follow-up play, of course.
Yeah. I mean, if you're BK here, you have to be thinking that you don't want to lose. You're winning, and you don't want to give that up. Whereas BK has sort of hit the epitome of the Rock's endgame, which is he's assembled a board where any of his creatures, including manlands, can turn into a hermit. So he
Yep.
can just churn out absurd numbers of creatures. So in a lot of ways, this is his game to lose.
Yep.
I think the shortest path to defeat for him would involve getting hit by a. Ooh, that's an interesting one for BK. He could choose to gain 4, but he could also sacrifice the Plague Lord and keep it in the game, effectively paying for life.
So we saw an attempt at a swords from Flores there, and it looks like he sacked the Plague Lord in response to take out another angel.
That makes sense. So
Yeah.
now Flores has this giant dragon, but BK is going to be able to use the rock in his millions effectively, using Recurring Nightmare to bounce Plague Lord and Hermit back from the dead to take down the dragon.
Yeah, and he can do it twice. He's got plenty of mana here, right? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So 3 times, yeah.
He's in a pretty good spot.
He is. He can. So any one creature can turn into 5 creatures, and then one of those creatures can turn into the Plague Lord.
All right, we got some battlefield movement from Flores.
And then Mike immediately moves his lands back so you can't see all of them anymore.
No lands for you. It's funny. I don't know if you can see the chat, Rich, but a lot of people are talking about Flores here, and if he loses to the Rock, then he has to eat crow about all of the trash talking he does on the Rock because he doesn't like the deck, the Rock. He doesn't think it's a very good deck, and he talked about it a lot on Mano's podcast. And so a lot of pre-moderners, especially diehard Rock fans, are like, "It's good, it's good. Like, let's prove our point."
I don't have much respect for the Rock, but I've always maintained that it's not that I think it's a bad deck, it's that it is not a deck that I like. It's not my preference. I respect that it wins matches, it can. It's just so far from what I want to be doing in Magic But I've never said it's a bad deck. It's just
Yeah, it's not. I don't enjoy playing it as well. I know a lot of people do, and Hoyt plays it a lot. We play against each other a lot and kind of go toe to toe.
yeah,
And
and if you like it, great. You
yeah,
know, I mean,
yep.
that's actually part of the beauty of pre-modern. You can play any archetype and it's good. Aggro, combo, combo control, Xerox, prison. These are all valid archetypes in pre-modern, and that's part of what I love about it. So you can play the slow, clunky mid-range deck and do well with it because the whole format is so open to different archetypes.
It really is. All right, so it looks like he activated the Thawing Glaciers finally. Had an
Oh,
opportunity
wow.
to do that, just to
Yeah.
slow grind, thin his deck out a little bit, improve his draws.
There it is. The Thawing Glaciers itself.
It's interesting, more recently, a lot of folks have started to run Glaciers with Dust Bowl as a way to sort of lock folks out. But this is a situation where it's not particularly good, right? A lot of the lands that the red-white slide deck runs are basics. Mike
Right.
uses the Forgotten Cave and the Secluded Step to generate the card advantage with the cycling, but he doesn't really play a lot of those out. So in a lot of decks, that would be a good angle for BK in these grindy matches, but it's not so great in this one.
No, that's true. I think Thawing Glaciers is a very interesting card. It's vulnerable, it's slow, it's everything a rock player might want, but at the same time, it's also what a sly player wants to play against, right?
Yes,
Like if
absolutely.
you lead with Turn On Jackalpup and your opponent plays Glacier Go, you've probably just won the game.
I think if your opponent leads with a Glacier Go, you're probably going to win for some other reasons.
Oh,
But who knows, right? That's a
but
pretty
if you're
terrible
not playing it
turn
turn
one
one,
play.
then when do you want to play it, right? If you play it in any of the first several turns, you're slowing back your progress. And if you don't play it until turn 6, do you really need it?
Yeah, I would just say that I think that in this format, you probably need to be playing cards in the first 3 turns of the game. If you're not interacting a lot in the first 3 turns, you're probably in big trouble.
Well, that's really the issue with Glaciers, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want it early, but you also kind of don't want it late.
All
But
right. More squirrels?
I wonder how many cards Mike has left. And what I'd really want to see is Mike's Rift deck on Aaron's also deck full of cycling, because I think that would just be a really interesting match.
We have some comments in the chat as to whether or not this is a true rock deck because it has 4 Mesmeric Fiends along with Deed, and it doesn't run Blastoderm. There's
Oh
another
yeah,
comment
it's
from
definitely a
earlier.
rock deck.
I would
You
agree.
can substitute whatever sort of mid-range value-y cards you want, and it's still the rock.
I mean, the fact that it has Plague Lord is like as almost about as pure as it gets.
Agreed. I would say this is more of the rock deck than most of the decks calling themselves the rock in this format. Steve says the rock is fun to play against. I agree. I'm always happy if my opponent's on the rock. I mean, the problem with the rock is that whatever your game plan is, you probably get to execute it. Sedge Troll says, what makes a rock deck a rock deck? Well, I think at this point, the rock deck is a green-black mid-range deck featuring Pernicious Deed, Hand Disruption, and value-ish creatures.
My short answer is we know it when we see it.
I think that's true. Yeah, I think that Deed is necessary but not sufficient for a deck to be called the Rock. If you have a plan that's too cohesive, it's probably not the Rock. But if your plan is to get to 1,000,000 mana and just start your creatures going into some sort of choreographed dance like we're seeing Kowal do here, then that's the Rock. Oh, right. If you go to the Republic, Socrates never actually defines what justice is. And I think it's fair that you often can't come up with a sufficient definition for something of sufficient complexity. And so your ability to recognize something is different than your ability to define it. I can't necessarily define the color orange. Maybe there's some light spectrum, but I don't know what that would be. And I couldn't tell you what the meaning of orange is, but I can tell you things that are colored orange, like a tiger or an orange. And so, really, what I'm doing is I'm pointing because I can't come up with a good definition. And I think that's what I would say for the rock too. I can't come up with a clear definition like I couldn't for the orange, but there are things that you can look at and that I can point you to and say, this is one example of the rock, this is another, and then it's up to you to abstract from that your definition so that you could recognize it even if you can't define it.
And we have a slice and dice here,
Wow.
which is a complete board wipe, it looks like. Wow.
That was brutal.
Absolutely. Hard cast. 4 damage. So
Yeah.
I was wondering why
Well,
the slice and dice. Thanks, Rich Bork. Rich Bork, not Rich Shay.
if,
I missed the
yeah,
hard cast.
if Mike just cycled it, I guess Brian can still use his lands for recursion, but or at least his walls. He can still use his lands, but this will slow him back a good bit.
Yep. So there goes the treetop. Here comes the hermit. And we're going to do the time warp again.
Yeah, if you think about it, Brian's whole deck goes through a very complicated set of intricate movements to build its own Wrath of God followed by Decree of Justice. Now, part of what I like about Blue White Control is that you just get to play Wrath of God, Decree of Justice. But this is fun too.
What an engine. Recurring Nightmare in this deck is just incredible.
It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, this is really cool to see. You're watching The Rock perform at its highest level. Now Brian really just needs to bring down the hammer with hunting echoes, and that'll be it.
And at the same time, we have this master of midrange, BK, but we also have Flores, who's someone who knows lines and knows sort of what he needs to eventually do to try to win because he pulled out in game 2. So, I wouldn't count him out. But, BK has had this commanding presence for several turns now, and the game hasn't moved a whole lot. We'll see if he can close it out.
Cedric said, didn't Richard Feynman say the same thing? I mean, I've read stuff by him, so if I've gotten some ideas from him, almost certainly. Although I'm more consciously referencing Plato. Either of these would be fine people to be citing in this context.
All right. All right, so here comes a lightning rift at long last.
Wow, there's a win condition. Do you think that Mike's been holding it back to protect it? The discard in the rock might make that difficult, but I haven't seen much from Kowal regarding discard. Have you?
No, I haven't. Not in this match, at least, or in this game. I wonder. So he doesn't have enough mana to, cycle 4 times, and Kowal didn't have a Bailoff in play, but now Kowal has to be cognizant of the direct damage, and so we'll see if he starts to loop a Bailoff into this mix.
Yeah, Kowal is down to 7, which is not a lot.
Step 1, play Recurring Nightmare. Step 2, Step 3, profit. That's a South Park reference for all you folks out there who may not have known what I was talking about.
Thank you. I missed that reference. Did my camera freeze up? It looks like, let me refresh it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, go ahead and refresh yourself.
All right.
All right.
Is that better?
The Atog Lord has returned.
Am I moving in that? Okay, good. I am. Good. So.
All right. You just may need to mute the players and they may need to mute you, but you should be good. All right. That's right. Random guy 1017, Bottle Gnomes.
There's the quote for the night. How come so many squirrels are attacking me?
Is this just it? Is this just game?
Oh, now it sounds like Kowal was saying he should have 4 more squirrels in play. All right, so the players are talking about whether Kowal should or should not have made 4 more squirrels.
I do not know. I'm inclined to let the players talk this one out unless chat, was there a, all right. So chat is saying there was a mistrigger. Folks, you can confirm that.
Rich is saying he forgot to put tokens in play. Man, it is I moose the coot. That's right. I've been really enjoying playing, well, old school and pre-modern these days. So I actually didn't catch whether Bryan did or did not put in enough squirrels. I've completely missed this. Flint, did you see that?
I didn't see it. I don't know if others in chat can also confirm it, or Hoip, if you saw it as well. I know that you're lurking in the background.
Yeah, I actually can't tell. Yeah, this is sort of like in a wrestling match where there's just way too many wrestlers in the ring and the referee is sort of unconscious in the corner. So looks like Kowal got this. All right.
It looks like maybe he did. All right. Ooh, what a match.
I appreciate you understand my stance on Magic, but I'm glad to play in these player-run formats that are not so embraced in Hasbro.
They're not sanctioned.
These are not sanctioned formats.
No. It's community driven.
These are community formats. These are not formats that Wizards of the Coast are probably even all that happy about. Right. So that is Mike Hammer's screen.
Hey, BK, Flores, can you guys hear us?
Oh, we got to unmute them.
Did you unmute them as well, Rich?
Yeah, let me unmute them.
How do I do that? There we go.
All right, are you guys unmuted? Mike, you still have me muted.
Hey, guys.
Oh,
I can hear you now.
Hey, guys.
All right, we have Mike Tom's Battlefield. All right, well, that was
what a game.
Which
game
one?
2 was a good game. I think the other 2 stunk.
I loved all 3 of them.
Yeah, I think game 2 was actually interesting. But
I thought game 1 was pretty phenomenal. Like, it was really, like, I really did not know who was going to win it most of the time. It was like really close.
Are we hearing Mike?
Yeah, you gotta unmute
do you
Mike
not hear me?
Can you hear me?
Rich, if you can't hear Mike, then you gotta unmute him.
All right.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear
I
you.
can-
Mike. Yeah,
I
good,
can hear you,
very
Mike.
good.
Yeah.
All
What,
right.
I don't even remember what happened in game one, other than I felt like I should win and then I didn't.
Bone Shredder.
Oh, Bone,
Yeah.
Bone Shredder was good.
Bone
Oh,
Shredder did
wait.
work.
Oh, game one, I didn't have land early, so I had to cycle Slice and Dice
Very good move.
and
Yeah.
Decree of Justice for
Sorry,
land,
Moses.
and then I just flooded in the mid game. Right, then I was like 10 land, and you had like 3 land, and I was just like, screw always beats flood, and then screw beat
I
flood.
remember. Very good.
Is
And-
Hoyp here? No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I'm just listening.
Oh, cool.
He's lurking and listening.
BK,
Yeah, we were
that's
both
what
like
happened,
really
right?
early. Like the first game, we were both just like totally stunted for like the first like 10 turns. Both our decks were just like not even working. It felt like.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
I felt like you were going to win from that spot because all I had was land, and I had actually had to waste good cyclers just to get into land, and then I just had nothing but land.
yeah,
But then I just didn't turn the corner. It was like pretty close for a while.
What was
But,
wild is like when BK had the recurring nightmare, like early in game one, I'm like, oh, okay, like Mike had his hand disrupted and like I thought BK was gonna take over, and the game went like 25 more turns. Like I was just so surprised like how long you stayed in the game.
But he didn't do anything. Like I literally just only drew lands. That's why game one went the way that it did.
Well, all his work was just like quickly erased by a slice of dice cycle, so
Yeah, so I mean BK tested this. He thought game one was pretty in favor of red white.
yeah. It's nearly impossible for me. I think.
Like but then
I think pretty much exactly what happened has to happen. Like I have to get like Bone Shredder, recurring nightmare, and probably an engineered plague for his one once and a deed. Like it's like so much has to go right.
Yeah.
I can't believe you managed to lose game two after Haunting Echoes me. I mean that's more impressive, right?
That was brutal.
It feels like this match is when little baby rock decks are going to bed. This is what they dream about becoming one day. Is the highest level of rock, right down to losing game two, so you can keep on going in game three.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Like, what was game three? Wait, did you guys pay attention? There was a question of whether or not BK had the correct number of squirrel tokens on the left.
Yeah, I think there was a
couldn't
mistrigger.
see what was happening.
I think I
well,
missed the trigger that turn. I think I just
So-
forgot to put the 4 in.
You played it and then you swung in apparently without putting the squirrels into play.
So yeah, all four of I finally drew Lightning Rift. All 4 of my Lightning Rifts were in the last 19 cards. So that was I had no basic land left in my deck, I think, at that point.
What a Andy.
So I don't know.
Flint, are fake hopper basic lands legal for PSS?
We can take a vote. I'm okay with them.
No.
Rich, it's Hopper though. Look how cute he is.
Those
all?
are you wait. So you actively made fake land, and then you decided to make them look like that.
Oh goodness.
So
That-
BK still has to play another match,
I didn't
right?
make them. A
Yeah,
friend made them
PK's
for
got
me.
one more.
Thanks for
against
making
Patelski.
So-
my friend.
You want me to?
Friend that is
Making fun of my
I
friend.
I have a friend who makes me lands that look like that.
I
Yeah,
thought game.
I was going to
My
say,
dog's cuter
Flores,
than
if,
any of
if
your
there's
lands,
anything else
Rich.
you want to say, any other like summaries or anything like that, feel free, and
Yeah.
then we'll
In
kick you out.
summary, my dog is cuter than any land Rich Shay has ever put in his deck.
I think
Well, yeah, all right.
Game-
Dogs are really cute. I'm not going to argue with that.
game 2 was legitimately exciting because I came back from Haunting Echoes. That's like legitimately exciting.
That's pretty cool.
I think like, and I had like.
I think
one
I
way to win
maybe
left
I
in my
probably
deck,
wasn't supposed
and
to lose
cast
that.
it.
I think I probably wasn't supposed to lose that
I
game.
don't know
though.
how you lose.
Yeah, I screwed that one up.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just yeah,
I did
I'll,
something
I'll,
wrong in that one. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna be salty at BK for games 1 and 3. That was
Fair enough.
well, that was
That was
quite an
rough.
epic match. I guess you guys like had at least
Unfun.
2 hours going for those 3 games. So,
Yeah.
is there
Well,
anything you want to summarize real quick before I think we're gonna get things set up for our last match? Because
Well, I'm glad that's over with. I don't think I can tap another land after all that.
all right, well. Congratulations to Metelsky then. All right. Well,
All right.
wait.
Was this your? Did you do this for Metelsky, Mike? You like wore me down?
No, I wanted to win. Like I feel like I should have won on the merits, and I didn't win on the life totals. I mean, like game 1 was just like the worst. I just drew like the thing that was really bad about it was when I drew my first Eternal Dragon, I only had 2 planes left in my deck. Like, that's how bad it was. Like,
How much total life do you think I gained in that game? Like 150?
more than 40 for sure.
More than
right?
100 for sure.
Okay, I don't know, probably. And
I
it was
had to have sacked 10, 20 bailouts.
So I didn't think I was gonna. I actually didn't think I was gonna win game 1, but it was like so close.
Yeah,
It
was
like,
really close.
Game 3, I think I was just like forward tilting from being happy from game 2. Like, I just cast a lot of random removal in game 3 because I always had 7 or 8 cards in my hand. I just didn't want to discard.
I saw my opening hand and I thought I was just gonna lose for sure. It was like a Terrain Sherman and a Plague Lord and like lands.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I just didn't draw any spells in game 3. Like, I mean, I did. I drew like removal that I cast, but like I didn't draw the high impact spells. I guess a dragon is high impact. Like, if you think a 2 for 1 for 12 mana is high impact card.
All right, we're gonna get
TL.
we're gonna get you guys out, and we're gonna get Tom in. Rich, are you interested in doing commentary for this last match?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Mike.
So I am gonna briefly take a quick break as we get things set up for our last match, but I don't think it'll be very long before we get Tom in here. So everyone, just sit tight, and we will be back shortly.